Sarah Ridgeway and Mindy Sigg, two mothers on opposite sides of the same horrific crime, came face to face when both dialed 911. On a cold, snowy night of October 5th, 2012, Sarah Ridgeway was first to call the police.
Westminster 911, what is the address of your emergency? Hey, what's going on there?
My daughter's missing. I guess she never made it to school this morning.
How old's your daughter?
She's 10.
Okay, what's your daughter's name?
Jessica Ridgeway.
And when did you last see her?
This morning when she left at 8:30.
Did she walk?
Yeah. And I checked her friend's house that she walked and they're not answering the door.
And you said that the school called, so they weren't?
And I work nights, so I slept through the call.
Okay, Sarah, sorry about that. We've got several officers on the way over to help you out, okay?
18 days passed, and then on the 23rd of October 2012, Mindy Sigg dialed 911.
Hi, this is Molly at Westminster Police. Can I help you?
Hi, I need you to come to my house. My son wants to turn himself in for the Jessica Ridgeway murder.
The confession was so outrageous that the first responder couldn't believe it.
Hello?
Is this Austin?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Austin. This is Molly at the Westminster Police Department.
Hi.
Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on right now, or how you're feeling, or how did this come about?
I don't exactly get why you're asking these questions.
Who is this Austin Sigg?
What kind of classes is he taking?
To be a mortician.
He wants to be a mortician? Okay.
But before we dive into his crooked mind, let's rewind back to the 7th of October 2012, 2 days after 10-year-old Jessica Ridgeway went missing. On October 7th, a man was walking down the street in Superior Division in Westminster, Colorado, when lying on the sidewalk he found an abandoned school backpack containing purple glasses, boots, urine-soaked clothes, and a water bottle with the words, "Life is good." The concerned local resident noticed Jessica Ridgeway's name on the water bottle and posted it online in an attempt to return the belongings. It's been over 48 hours since Jessica Ridgeway went missing, and there was an active Amber Alert.
At least 50 police officers, including the FBI, are searching right now, overnight, using bloodhounds in temperatures near freezing, and still no sign of young Jessica Ridgeway.
Despite the Amber Alert, the local who found the backpack wasn't aware of it and was merely trying to locate the rightful owner.
We believe the backpack to be Jessica's.
Fortunately, someone online made the connection and alerted the police.
We've been looking for a lead, and this possibly is that.
Jessica, born on January 23, 2002, in Westminster, Colorado, was the daughter of Sarah Ridgeway and Jeremiah Bryant. When Jessica was 10 years old, her parents were in the middle of a divorce and were entangled in a custody battle. During this time, Jessica lived with her mom, Sarah, grandmother, and aunt, while her dad lived alone in Missouri. In the 5th grade at Witt Elementary School, Jessica displayed a level of independence that was a long way ahead of her age. As a member of the Pee Wee cheerleading squad, she often practiced at the local Stanley High School. Responsible beyond her years, Jessica took care of her dog and completed tasks without her mother asking twice.
She does everything on her own because she wants to make herself look like she's a grown-up. She wants to be a teenager before she's a teenager.
Jessica had plans to be a zombie lifeguard for Halloween in 2012. The irony and humor in her choice reflect the goofy and funny nature that was Jessica. She had a knack for brightening everyone's life, always adorned with a smile that revealed a charming little gap between her two front teeth. Her infectious personality was complemented by her favorite color, purple, evident in the purple-rimmed glasses she wore daily. The last time Sarah saw Jessica was on Friday morning, October 5th, 2012. Jessica, like any other day, was headed towards Chelsea Park to meet a friend and then walk to school. Her routine included starting the day with a granola bar and an orange, accompanied by some TV while getting ready.
Alarm clock goes off and she comes down, she watches TV, and she eats her granola bar, goes up and gets dressed, comes down, and we peel oranges for her snack at school. She fills up her water bottle.
Earlier that morning, Jessica had made a call to her friend's dad, planning to meet at the park near his house and walk to school together. Her school was just 3 blocks away from her home. Sarah, having just finished a work shift, returned home at 7:30 a.m. to help her daughter in getting ready for school. Throughout the night, Jessica had been cared for by either her grandmother or aunt, as all three shared the same household. Their work schedules ensured that there was always an adult present to care for Jessica day and night. On this snowy day, Jessica left for school wearing blue jeans, a puffy black jacket with pink lining, and black boots with little fluffy palms. She also wore her distinctive purple prescription eyeglasses. She also carried a black and pink Victorious backpack. On that particular day, Jessica walked directly to school alone because she was running late to meet up with her friend, who, along with his dad, decided to leave without her. The friend thought Jessica's mom would drive her to school. Her friend waited until just 10 minutes before school started, then asked his dad to drive him to ensure he arrived on time. A few weeks prior, there were reports of a white van attempting to lure girls with promises of candy in Colorado, putting the community on high alert. Unfortunately, on that fateful morning, Jessica was taken when she was passing a parked gold Jeep Cherokee with a young man hiding inside, waiting to grab her. Jessica never got to school that day. Sarah, her mother, was catching up on sleep due to a late work shift the night before. Sarah awoke at 4 p.m., and that's when she realized Jessica had not returned home. By now, 10-year-old Jessica Ridgeway was missing for 8 hours.
The idea that she could be 8 hours in another direction put the police way behind in figuring out where this child might be.
Sarah had put her phone on silent that day due to receiving several random calls, a departure from her usual practice. Upon checking her voicemails, she discovered that the school and the police had called around 10 a.m. to inform her that Jessica did not make it to school.
We make the phone call to the number that the parent requests we call.
Alarmed, Sarah immediately contacted the police to report Jessica missing, knowing that her daughter would never willingly miss a day of school.
Hey, what's going on there?
My daughter's missing. I guess she never made it to school this morning.
How old's your daughter?
She's 10.
Okay, what's your daughter's name?
Jessica Ridgeway.
And when did you last see her?
This morning when she left at 8:30.
Did she walk?
Yeah. And I checked her friend's house that she walked and they're not answering the door.
And you said that the school called, so they weren't.
And I work nights, so I slipped through the call.
Okay, Sarah, sorry about that. We've got several officers on the way over to help you out, okay?
Sarah, overcome with worry, hurried to the neighbor's house, desperately asking if they had seen Jessica. From there, she rushed to the school, scanning every inch along the route and across the campus. Despite her relentless search, Jessica was nowhere to be found. A deep, sinking feeling gnawed at Sarah, torn between the possibilities of an accident or abduction. The missing posters vividly described Jessica. Blue eyes, 4 feet 10 inches tall, blonde hair, and weighing 80 pounds. Jessica's reputation as a smart and safety-conscious girl made it unimaginable that she would willingly enter a car with a stranger. Sarah knew Jessica was either forcefully abducted by someone unknown or perhaps willingly got into a car with someone she knew well.
I watch her walk out the door and I shut the door, and that's the last time I saw her, and I want to come walking back through that door.
Law enforcement began looking into the family, exploring the possibility that someone within might be involved in Jessica's kidnapping. The first suspect was her father.
I try to stay positive about it, but yeah, it's hard.
Jeremiah was fighting for her custody, but Jessica's father was quickly ruled out as a suspect, as he had an airtight alibi in Missouri at the time of her disappearance. On that very day, he attended a court hearing regarding the custody of Jessica because he missed his child support payments. On October 6th, the day after her disappearance, an extensive search began, involving the police, family members, and the public. Jessica's usual 1-mile route was combed using search dogs and thermal sensors, but the efforts yielded no results.
Police brought in teams of scent-tracking dogs to search the family's neighborhood.
They looked in everything, washers, dryers. You find this girl, that's the main concern.
They found nothing.
Finally, an Amber Alert was issued, featuring Jessica's photo and description. Purple ribbons were placed around the school and along her route, serving as a visual reminder to the public of her disappearance. This bold crime sent shockwaves through the small community of 13,000 residents. Parents became more vigilant, closely monitoring their children's whereabouts and scrutinizing potential suspects close to home.
I think that all children should pay attention to what they're doing.
At the park near Jessica's house, there is now a growing memorial.
On the 7th of October, 2 days after Jessica went missing, that's when the local found her backpack. Foreign DNA collected from the backpack was entered into the CODIS database. Turns out the DNA was matched to another case of an assault and attempted abduction earlier that year involving an adult female jogger. However, the attacker was not in the system.
FBI profilers believe the suspect is likely male and might have recently missed work or suddenly left town. He might have changed his appearance or gotten rid of his car.
The discovery of Jessica's backpack raised both hope and alarm. While it suggested she might still be with her kidnapper, the fact that her glasses were missing and her clothes were soaked in urine indicated potential danger.
The weekend, a glimpse of optimism for the family when Jessica's backpack and water bottle were found in another subdivision.
The police redirected their search efforts to the town of Superior to uncover leads that could bring them closer to Jessica's whereabouts. On October 10th, a tip led officers 9 miles away from Jessica's home to the town of Arvada. In Patridge Park, human body parts were discovered in a black trash bag deemed not intact.
Yeah, police are telling us maintenance workers picking up trash along the side of this road found the body. The garbage truck is still parked here, and you can see there the crime scene markings police left behind. Today they're processing the scene and releasing the profile of a killer.
New housing developments in a major freeway now surrounded Patridge Park, an old mining area. The remains, covered with a white blanket, impelled police to continue the search for more evidence in the area. Through DNA matching, the police were able to identify the torso. It was Jessica Ridgeway, and her family was notified. Upon closer examination, the medical examiner observed signs of cleaning. Astonishingly, it was a wooden cross found inside her vaginal cavity.
It was found at one of the crime scenes in the case, but police won't say which one because that is information only the killer knows.
A DNA profile of a suspect was extracted from Jessica's remains. At this point, police had not ruled out Jessica's mom, Sarah. When Jessica's father, Bryant, was questioned about Sarah as a potential suspect, he responded, "I don't see how any parent could do something like that to their child."
I just want to find my daughter. I just want her back home.
In a 38-minute public statement on October 17th, Sarah expressed her understanding and cooperation with the police investigation, actively seeking to eliminate herself as a suspect.
I want to stress that we recognize that there is a predator at large in our community.
On October 17th, police canvassed the town where Mindy Sigg lived. Mindy lived in the house with her 2 sons, Austin and his younger brother. Although the police had no immediate cause to search Mindy's home, they were questioning almost everyone. They documented the details she provided. But her neighborhood was stirring up, and the search made the residents uneasy who found her older son, Austin Sigg, odd.
We also recognize that you are familiar with your neighborhood. You'll recognize when something is out of place, when something seems odd or suspicious. We ask that you call immediately and report that information to us.
On October 19th, a tip from one of Mindy's neighbors led detectives to Austin Sigg. The tip described Austin's obsession with death and a silver cross he wore around his neck. Police questioned him and searched his home, but they couldn't find sufficient evidence to press charges. They also searched his father's mansion in the town of Parker, southeast of Denver. Austin's father, a media company owner, had purchased an estate overlooking the town, providing ample space for Austin to hide Jessica's remains, possessions, or evidence potentially. Police obtained a DNA sample from Austin through a buccal swab to compare with the samples they had from Jessica's water bottle and her remains. The growing police presence seemed to intensify the pressure on Austin Sigg, and by October 22nd, he began to unravel. Feeling sick and wobbly, he confided in his friends at Arapahoe Community College about his misery. But who was this Austin Sigg, and why was he so nervous around the police? Austin Reed Sigg had his roots in Westminster, Colorado, with his mother. Born on January 17, 1995, to Mindy and Robert, his parents parted ways when he was just a child. Post-separation, his father remarried and started living in a nearby mansion, shaping Austin's upbringing. Even after their split, Austin continued vacationing with both Mindy and Robert. His relationship with his father was cordial, though their interactions were limited during his early school years. Austin began his educational journey at Maranatha Christian Center before transferring to Witt Elementary School, the same school Jessica went to. Reading and writing became a challenge during his adolescent years. Teachers observed difficulties in his concentration in class. Pediatricians eventually diagnosed him with attention deficit disorder, ADD.
He was very quiet, shy, and to himself. I would say he was gothic. He never really talked about his family or his friends. Like, all he talked about was like playing or spending time with us. He always wanted to just play capture the flag. That was his main thing, was to play capture the flag with us.
Did he have a lot of friends?
Not that I knew of, just us girls that he would hang out with all the time.
Austin was attending Wayne Carl Middle School in 2008 when his mother Mindy found child pornography on Austin's computer. He was 13 years old. Austin's struggle with an anxiety disorder took center stage, with pediatricians linking it to the escalating addiction to porn. He was prescribed medication for anxiety. Under adult supervision, Austin's perverted interests seemed to fade into the background. Although counselors advised his father to monitor Austin's television and computer activities, there was a lack of concrete actions taken to actively track the content he consumed. This gap in supervision left Austin without the necessary support and intervention to address his challenges. Austin's father, Robert, had an extensive criminal record, which included charges such as burglary, fraud, domestic violence, and driving under the influence. Although there is no evidence linking Robert to child abuse, he has a history of mistreating his spouses, leading to a restraining order from his live-in girlfriend. Despite the early parental conflicts, the later part of Austin's home life was characterized as loving and calm. He enjoyed a circle of friends and led a typical social life. His classmates described him as intelligent, but noted a touch of peculiarity in his demeanor. Austin was part of the Jeff College Concert Choir, where he found himself sometimes teased due to his high-pitched voice for his age. Beyond the choir, his interests extended to realms like World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, and a modest collection of decorative swords and knives.
He's a smart. We never thought, like, it was shocking.
He was the kid that went around school, and like the kids who walked down the hall alone, he would walk with you.
However, it was his open fascination with death that marked Austin as peculiar to some of his peers.
Felt like he was very intelligent, but just those eyes, I don't know. I can't explain it. It's creepy.
Austin's romantic journey began when he met his girlfriend at Warehouse 180, a spot for Christian teens to socialize. They started dating in late middle school and continued throughout high school without any apparent red flags. Describing him as a genuinely sweet guy, his girlfriend never suspected him of intending harm or malice. Throughout high school, Austin would spend the night at his girlfriend's house once a week. His mother, Mindy, noted that he would stay at her place around 3 nights a week, leaving the mystery of where he spent the other nights. Fellow students regarded Austin as a kind individual who would engage in friendly conversations with anyone in the hallways, offering to walk with those alone.
What was he into? What kind of stuff was he interested in?
He loved computers, video games. He liked spending time with family and his girlfriend.
Sharing a room with his younger brother, Austin's side featured katanas, a kimono, and various Japanese decorations, alongside an Abbey Road Beatles poster. His interest in death grew, and he even considered becoming a mortician. Mindy would playfully joke about this fascination with death to friends and neighbors during his time at Stanley Lake High School. While still a teen, Austin attended Arapahoe Community College, taking classes that, according to his brother, delved into the morbid, teaching him how to commit murder and get away with it. Here's where things take a strange turn. Austin practiced zip-tying his mother, claiming it was for school and crime scene investigation purposes. Mindy thought it was part of his studies, but the act struck her as rather unsettling. Despite early efforts to address his issues, it appears that Austin's parents became less vigilant over time. There seems to be a degree of negligence in closely monitoring Austin, even after seeking initial treatment. While it's uncertain if stricter parenting would have altered the outcome, the lack of intervention might have played a role in Austin's eventual actions. Austin's initial foray into criminal behavior occurred on May 28, 2012, at the age of 17. In an unsettling incident, he attempted to subdue a 22-year-old female jogger near Kettner Lake in Westminster Park using a homemade chloroform rag. Austin parked his car near police surveillance. Then he roamed the park, spotting the jogger on her first lap, and then hid in the bushes, waiting for her to circle back for another jog before attacking. Fortunately, the jogger managed to fight him off and escape, promptly reporting the incident to authorities. The jogger described him to the police as a 20 to 25-year-old, 5'7" white male with an average build and brown hair. This vague identification profile prompted authorities to lift a DNA profile from her shirt, entering it into the FBI CODIS database, Combined DNA Index System. Following this failed attack, Austin went on a vacation to the U.S. Virgin Islands with Mindy and Robert. While on vacation, there is no evidence to suggest he committed any crimes. Strikingly, Austin exhibited no signs of peculiar behavior or distress after the attempted assault on the jogger, leading up to the tragic incident involving Jessica Ridgeway's murder. Now let's fast forward to October 22nd. The police have taken his DNA in the Jessica Ridgeway case, and he knew it was only a matter of time before they would realize it was him all along. He was nervous, and the only comfort he found was in the lap of his mother. It's unclear whether Austin frequently slept in his mom's bed, but on this particular night, he did. The night before his confession, the weight of the trauma from his actions took a toll on him, affecting him profoundly. On October 23rd, Austin finally confessed to his mom, Mindy, that he had murdered Jessica.
Hi, this is Molly at Westminster Police. Can I help you?
Hi, I need you to come to my house. My son wants to turn himself in for the Jessica Ridgeway murder.
And what's going on there? Ma'am,
Not hear me? He just confessed to killing her.
I know. I want you to tell me what's going on. Can you tell me exactly what he said?
But he did it, and he gave me details, and her remains are in my house.
Did you see them?
No.
Is he there with you?
Yes.
Is he cooperative?
Yes.
How old is your son?
17.
What is your son's name?
Austin Sigg.
Can you spell it? You said Austin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and spell his last name for me.
S as in Sam, I-G-G.
Okay, I understand that you're probably, feeling pretty crappy right now, but I want you to know that you did the right thing.
He did it. He just wanted me to call. He is turning himself in.
Okay. Do you think that he's going to be cooperative with the officers?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It was then Mindy who made the 911 call to confess on his behalf, informing the police that some of Jessica's remains were still in their house. The police dispatcher persuaded Mindy to hand the phone to Austin so they could speak directly with him and extract more details about the location of the remaining remains.
Do you think that Austin would talk to me?
Will you talk to her? Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
Hello?
Is this Austin?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Austin. This is Molly at the Westminster Police Department.
Hi.
Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on right now, or how you're feeling, or how did this come about?
I don't exactly get why you're asking these questions. I murdered Jessica Ridgeway.
Okay.
I have proof that I did it. There is no other question. You just have to send a squad car, something down here, and I will answer all the questions that you want to ask, or anyone wants to ask of me as soon as you gotta get down here.
Okay. Austin, I have a police officer that's going to come over to your house, okay? Can you tell me what part of the house that her remains are in?
Underneath the house and across this.
Okay. Did you know Jessica before this?
No, I did not.
Are you going to school anywhere?
We're at the Hope Community College.
And you're 17?
Yes.
Austin's tone on the call started off matter-of-fact and calm, but it quickly escalated to frustration as the dispatcher persistently asked questions about the murder and motive. During the call, Austin also confessed to attacking a woman at Kettner Lake and revealed that he had a speeding ticket.
Do you have a criminal history of any sort?
The only other thing that I have done that before this was the Kentner Lake incident where the woman got attacked. That was me as well. And other than that, the only criminal history I have is a speeding ticket.
Okay. Do you have a car?
I do.
What kind of vehicle do you have?
Jeep Grand Cherokee.
What color is it?
Golden.
Is it at your house?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right, Austin. Well, just like I said, I am sending you a police officer, okay? But you have to understand that you know, we take this stuff very seriously, and like I said, you did the right thing by calling.
I would have to hope that you would take this serious because this is important. I'm over here.
I absolutely am taking this serious.
He admitted that some of Jessica's remains were in a crawl space beneath the house. Interestingly, the crawl space not only contained evidence of the crime, but also housed a marijuana plant. Given Austin's known habit of smoking marijuana, it appeared to be his personal stash.
And Austin told me he's taking like classes at community college.
Yeah.
What kind of classes is he taking?
To be a mortician.
He wants to be a mortician? Okay.
Mindy audibly laughed when she mentioned that Austin wanted to be a mortician. This reaction could potentially reveal her guilt, denial, or perhaps a certain naivety regarding the gravity of the situation. During the 911 call, Austin sounds deeply shaken up, and both he and Mindy are crying out of fear.
Okay. Are you still at the front door?
Yeah.
Okay. They're walking up to your house, okay? For their safety reasons, they park down the street and they're walking up. Okay, and like I said, they're going to be plain clothes. They're not FBI.
However, when Austin goes to the police station later to make a formal confession, he appears somewhat more relaxed. He's not as visibly shaken, and he maintains a calmer demeanor.
Do you see the plainclothes officers in their badges?
Yeah, they're here.
Okay, I'll let you go speak with them, okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
The dispatcher remained on the line with Austin and Mindy until the police arrived, but both of them were physically sick and experiencing panic attacks during this tense and distressing situation. Detectives promptly read Austin his Miranda rights in the presence of Mindy, who gave her consent for Austin to make a full statement. There was no resistance or struggle from Austin, and he willingly went with the police. During his confession, Austin was casually eating and sipping soda. This behavior was later brought up in court. Interestingly, the initial DNA test on Austin's sample, which he was so nervous about, came back negative. Turns out it was a lab technician's error, and a second sample of Austin's DNA was later tested, resulting in a positive match. The fact that the first DNA didn't match meant it actually was his confession that got him. While Austin was interrogated at the police station, officers searched his house. They found black trash bags in the crawl space, similar to the bags used to wrap Jessica's torso, which was found in the park. During the interview, Austin admitted to the horrifying act of murdering Jessica. He claimed to have gone hunting that day, not knowing or having seen Jessica before. On that fateful day, Jessica, being late to school, was possibly one of the very few kids, if not the only one, still walking to school, making her a vulnerable target.
Go on and tell me what happened after you grabbed her.
She screamed and I told her to be quiet, and I used zip ties to zip tie her hands and legs together, and then I hopped in front of my car and I drove around for probably a good 10-20 minutes. I asked her if she had a cell phone, looked for that. She kept asking me questions and I would answer them, and I would lie to her. I would tell her that everything was going to be okay, and I would just lie to her.
He recounted the horrifying details of grabbing her, placing her in his car and driving away, eventually arriving at his mother's house.
And I took her up to my room. And I sat her in my room, and I played Netflix on the TV for her. It was either like Family Guy or something. I don't remember. It was some cartoon. I just kind of sat there. I sat there and I stared at her, and I just remember absolutely blankness in my head, having no thoughts, nothing. And it terrified me. And after sitting there for probably an hour, maybe, I don't exactly remember, time kind of started feeling weird then.
After navigating the neighborhood, he steered into the garage, sealing the grim fate that awaited Jessica. He subjected Jessica to further torture.
After that, I asked her to change into a pair of a shirt and shorts that I had. And I let her go into the bathroom to do that. And she came back, told her to put all her clothes in her backpack and get her backpack ready and everything to go back.
Compelled by a twisted desire, he compelled her to change into his t-shirt and shorts, given that her clothes were saturated with urine. After having his way with her, Austin initially tried to strangle her with zip ties. When that didn't work, he manually strangulated her. The following day, Austin methodically discarded Jessica's belongings. He casually threw her backpack in plain view in Superior to mislead the authorities. Subsequently, he disposed of her jacket in a trash can to further confuse the cadaver search police dogs in his vicinity. However, Austin's depraved fantasies were far from full. Austin confessed to placing a small hand-carved wooden cross pendant on Jessica's body. However, during the subsequent autopsy, the cross was discovered inside her.
We believe that it was left behind or dropped by somebody that was involved and knows information that we're looking for.
Left intentionally, perhaps?
It potentially was left intentionally.
Astonishingly, Austin admitted to etching 3 designs onto the wooden cross before inserting it into her body.
The cross has 3 distinct marks on one side, and on the other what appears to be the letter S.
The cross was not an expression of remorse, but a grotesque attempt to mislead investigators by portraying the perpetrator as a religious zealot. The wooden cross discovered in her vaginal cavity bore testament to the depths of Austin's perversion. His decision to place a holy symbol in a place where he sexually degraded her highlighted his utter lack of respect for Jessica, both in life and death. The charges against Austin were comprehensive, encompassing all the crimes perpetrated against Jessica and the female jogger he had previously attacked. Despite initially being sent to a juvenile facility due to his age, he was later charged as an adult and transferred to an adult prison in Jefferson County. For the first 52 days in jail, he was placed in a SHU completely isolated from the general population. Austin surprisingly pled not guilty to the 15 charges read against him in court. Despite this initial plea, Austin later changed his stance to guilty in October 2013, just before his trial commenced. It was to spare both his family and Jessica's family from the gruesome details of the crime. During the trial, Chief Judge Stephen Muser of the Jefferson County District Court read a letter that echoed Austin's sentiments during the interrogation. Quoting Austin directly, the judge stated, "I don't know about society because I've never really been that great with it, but I know that personally, I am a monster. There's no better word to describe what I've done than evil." Throughout the proceedings, Austin maintained an emotionless demeanor, fixating on the ground with a vacant stare. However, a glimpse of humanity surfaced during the victim impact statement when he began to cry. Whether these tears were genuine remorse for Jessica or a reaction to his own predicament remains uncertain. I hope that he reflects on the heinous acts he committed every day in his cold and isolated cell. Since it's unconstitutional to impose capital punishment on individuals under the age of 18, this Supreme Court ruling spared Austin from facing the death penalty.
Is that he will not, and we want to emphasize, will not face the death penalty.
On November 19, 2013, he was sentenced to life in prison. The court mandated that he spend his entire life incarcerated, with an additional 86-year sentence to be served concurrently. While I could continue to condemn Austin for the monstrous deeds he perpetrated, it seems evident that he carries a profound sense of self-disgust. It is my sincere wish that he grapples with the weight of his actions daily. Jessica's mother, Sarah, opted not to provide Austin with the satisfaction of acknowledging the extent of the damage he inflicted on Jessica's family.
I don't think that the defendant has the right to hear how he affected me, my family, or who Jessica was. Once we walk out of this courtroom, we'll not remember his name.
Instead, she conveyed that after leaving the courtroom, she would deliberately forget his name and concentrate on preserving Jessica's legacy. In their hearts, Jessica will forever remain 10 years old. 1 year after her tragic death, Chelsea Park was renamed Jessica Ridgeway Memorial Park in her honor.
Everywhere you look, there are hints of Jessica, from the purple that is speckled throughout the park.
The park structures are painted in her favorite color and dragonflies as a moving tribute. A memorial rock and bench were placed in the park at the site of her discovery, inviting people to reflect on her enduring legacy. In 2014, Austin was transferred to a prison outside of Colorado for his safety, and the specific location was not disclosed to the public. One might hope that his confinement mirrors the conditions he imposed on his victim. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe to Crime Explorer. Until next time, stay safe.